everyone. Welcome to the 8th edition of the Paris Peace Forum. When we launched the forum back in 2018, we had a mission. The global society was in crisis, multilateralism was in crisis, people were losing faith at the UN, and we thought that the Paris Peace Forum could play a very critical role in doubling down on fundamental values, that we cannot address these global crises without global common consensus. Flash forward to 2025, we're still dealing with the same problems, not for the lack of effort that the Paris Peace Forum has done, but as a true recognition of the crisis that we're dealing with. I'm reminded of the words of Arundhati Roy, who said, "What lies under the rubble of Gaza are not just the bodies, but the debris of Western liberal democracy." Today, I just had a panel with young people who spoke about that there's not enough being spoken about Sudan. Where is the conversation happening around Congo? And I think the Paris Peace Forum has a very real recognition that as beautiful as this venue is, and as amazing as it is to host all of you here at the forum, outside these sanitized walls, there's war, there's genocide, there's people's lives on the line. So what are we doing here as a congregation over 2 days that can actually lead to concrete impact on the lives of people outside these walls? I met Maria Ressa yesterday. The fact that she's been showing up at the forum consistently over the years gives me incredible hope in the work that the forum is doing. Today, whilst I was talking to the project leaders in the space of solution, I met a project called Umeed in Afghanistan. Umeed means hope. And they are working before the Taliban came into power, and they're still continuing to work by directly working with rural women and families, by giving them small grants, through the access of education, through the access of skill development, to empower these communities to continue to advocate for themselves and do the work that they're doing on ground. So that is what gives me hope and brings me to the theme of this year's forum, which is new coalitions for peace, for people, and for the planet. With that, I want to first give away to the best of what we have seen over the previous 2 days, and then we will introduce Justin to give us more of a concrete breakdown of what the forum has accomplished.
Welcome to the 8th edition of the Paris Peace Forum.
We've never had as many conflicts as we have in 2025, more than 60, that is more than at any time since 1946. But there are reasons for hope. There's a new diplomacy raising its head. We saw that during the 2 days of the forum. There's a lot of energy, there's a lot of momentum among the many actors who were present at the Paris Peace Forum. And what we did during these 2 days is reinvent diplomacy for this changing world, for this more brutal world. So thank you to all of you for bringing your own contribution to this edition of the forum. We've made some progress. We've not solved all the conflicts, we've not solved all the global challenges, but the incremental progress we've made will be recorded and will be useful to make this world a better place.
And with that, I want to invite on stage Justin Weiss, le fondateur and the Director General of the Forum. Justin, if you could tell us very concretely, what has the Forum managed to accomplish over the last 2 days that everyone here can go back and say, you know what, it was worth my time, I'm going to see real impact on the ground?
Thank you, Trisha. I can't believe it's been now 7 years since we first did this duo with Trisha, and I want to thank you for being such a good partner, good companion to the forum. And I will take this opportunity, before answering your question, to thank a few people and institutions. And the first ones I want to thank are the ones who received us in their home. That is here, the Musée de l'Homme. I want to thank them dearly because they offered to cease operations for 2 days to have us. Exactly what the Musée de la Marine, the Musée National de la Marine behind us, did as well for these 2 days. And we also got some help from the Cité de l'Architecture and the Théâtre National de la Danse. But it's really the teams from the Musée de la Marine and Musée de l'Homme who have been we've been blessed with their partnership and with their support. So thank to the two institutions. Second, I would like to thank MCI, MCI en français. MCI is our event agency. They are the ones who make this possible, the lights, the stage, the video, the stream, the app, etc. And so they have been accompanying us for a number of years. And they, once again, have done a great job, as you can see. And I want to thank them because they are now really, we're sort of one team with that of the Paris Peace Forum. So thank you, François, and all of your team. I have many other people to thank, like the mentors, for example, who have been accompanying our projects this year, our SCUP projects this year, but that will be mentioned later. But of course, and if I want to make this a bit shorter, I will simply finish by thanking the Paris Peace Forum team, the projects team, the protocol team, the program team, the policy team. There are different departments. We are about 40, and we put this out, but we also work throughout the years on the coalitions we launch, on the initiatives that we trigger. And this team is fantastic. It has never been as good as it is now, as effective, as focused, as hardworking. And I want to thank all of them from the bottom of my heart. So Trisha, you were asking me what's the takeaway? What did we accomplish? You know, from the start, the premise of the forum was impact. We had a couple of things in our DNA. We wanted to be a multi-actor organization. We wanted to be a north-south organization, an event, and we wanted to be an impact organization. We didn't set out to create a conference with speakers pontifying on geopolitics, etc. That's all very good, and I've been an academic, so I know what I'm talking about. What we wanted to create instead was an event, a forum, not a symposium, that would gather people, not just to talk, even if talk is sometimes very useful, dialogue for peace especially is useful, but also that would accomplish things. Crystallize policy consensus, for example, get to norms or pre-norms, try to organize a field of global governance better, plug the holes that the UN agencies have a hard time plugging because they are underfunded, because of great power politics, etc., etc. And so what do we take away from this edition? In the field of global governance, I'm really happy that we were able to partner with IFPIM, the International Fund for Public Interest Media, and Reporters Without Borders. Again, we've been allies for the past 8 editions, for the Summit on Information Integrity. The concrete results are 29 countries signing a common text saying that information is a public good, that it should be protected, that it should be defended. Humans are a social species. The information that circulates among us is important. It's important for a political organization. It's important for our health, for example, and we should defend it and protect it. And we are at a time of incredible change on that matter. And so these countries committed. We also had concrete financial commitments from France, from Ghana, from a number of other countries that decided that IFPIM was important and that decided to commit money. And we also had many meetings and many, the convening power of the forum is important because it allows people to meet and to work together. On climate, obviously, that was another important theme, especially yesterday, whether with the COP presidents or the important session on methane. So we didn't have a breakthrough yesterday, but we sort of prepared a breakthrough. There will be a summit during COP30 in Belém on methane. As you know, methane is an even worse gas than CO2 in terms of global warming. And so it was really important that we would have governments, the industry, NGOs, foundation, and other actors work together, but also coal, also nature-based solutions, and other topics. So that's the second takeaway. I think on climate we were able to make some progress. AI, as you know, has been an important theme as well. And from the start, and for us the start was 2020, so we didn't wait for ChatGPT to appear to work on AI, because AI is transforming our lives. For example, it's transforming the life and the development of our children, and that's why earlier this year we created iRaise, the multi-actor coalition. There's a fan club over there, but I'm a big fan of iRaise because, okay, you might say, what's the relationship with peace? As you know, the forum has been working on many issues of global governance, and if we get a number of things right, we work for the medium-term and long-term structures of peace, the drivers that allow societies to be better governed and more peaceful in the long term. And in effect, AI will be transforming our lives, will be transforming the justice system, will be transforming information, as I was mentioning earlier, will be transforming production, will be transforming our intellectual activity, but also will be transforming the world in which, the environment in which our children will see their development. And so that's one specific example, but that's one important example. But as I was saying, starting in 2020, we worked on AI, especially in the Global South. I don't like that expression any more than you do, but it's just useful. In the Global South, seen from the Global South, and with our friends from Africa, from Latin America, from Asia in particular. And the focus on AI and development in particular is something important, creating the links, not just the big LLMs, not just the billions of dollars of investment, but also the concrete use cases, the concrete apps in medicine, in agriculture, and in education that we can get from AI. Then now, as you know, there have been more than 80 sessions. There's been more than 450 speakers. So I'm not going to tell you all the sort of small incremental steps that we made. And many of you attended many different sessions and know that we've been able to make progress on a number of fronts, whether it's critical minerals or African agriculture or others. But I will just finish by mentioning a few geopolitical issues, topics that we have tried to tackle. So it's the Paris Peace Forum. So why don't you make peace? That's a question that I often get. And obviously, if it were that easy, it would have been invented for a long time. So what we're trying to do is work on better governance, but then we are also trying to tackle some of the conflicts, and we're trying to have some impact, because that's the keyword of tonight. Whether it's, for example, on Ukraine or on international humanitarian law, supporting the ICRC in its campaign to reinvigorate international law. As I was saying in the video, there are more and more conflicts in the world, and so one of the first casualties is international humanitarian law, European resolve to support Ukraine, but also the conference on the Great Lakes region that just ended at the Musée de la Marine, but also the Balkans. We had many friends, heads of states and officials and civil society from the Balkans, and that is important 30 years after the Dayton-Paris Agreement. And last but not least, since you mentioned it, Trisha, the Israel-Palestine question, whether the discussion between former Prime Minister Ehud Olmert and former Foreign Minister Nasser al-Kidwa yesterday or today, the 3 sessions we had on especially associating civil society and others to the resolution. You may know that the forum earlier this year organized a number of events, especially here in Paris in June, 300 Palestinians and Israelis meeting here in Paris and trying to support especially the initiative by France and Saudi Arabia in favor of the two-state solution that was voted in favor of on September 12 by 142 countries at the United Nations. We believe that associating civil society and diplomats is the way to go. One won't win the peace without the other. And for that, we've been lucky to be helped and accompanied by Olmep in particular, that I want to thank, or the Carter Center also has helped us. We've been helped by many different organizations, but I wanted to mention these two ones. We have many partnerships to try and build peace. So, in a word, it's hard to give a comprehensive takeaway because so many things happened, so much serendipity also, people who didn't expect to meet the people that they've met during the 2 days of the forum and will get back home richer in their connections, in their networks, and in their ability to have a positive impact. But last but not least, I think we should continue. We live in a more and more brutal world. Multilateralism is contested as never before. I was saying international humanitarian law is also questioned. We have more and more complex issues, wicked questions for which we need complex answers. To solve complex problems, we need complex solutions, honestly, and we're trying to build them with the different actors with this method. We will continue, and so we will be working throughout the year, and I will conclude by saying, see you a year from now.
Thank you so much, Justin. With that, I want to give the floor to Mariam Bukar Hassan, who goes by the alias Alan Islam, and she's the first ever United Nations Global Advocate for Peace.
Having me. Okay, I think we're good. Can you hear me? Good evening, everyone. Oh, it's bonsoir. I am honored to be here. Thank you so much for having me. When we talk about peace, I used to think that peace was a place, a final destination we arrive at after all wars have ended. But I have come to realize that peace is not a line that we cross. It is a choice that we make over and over and over again, especially when it is the hardest, especially when it feels far away. Peace is not a silence you force into people's mouths. It is not the absence of war, but the presence of understanding. Peace is a child learning to sleep again without flinching at the wind. It is a mother not having to choose between bread and dignity. It is a father not having to swallow his voice to feel like a man. Peace is messy, like forgiveness. It does not arrive in parade floats. Sometimes it comes crawling through broken windows when we finally agree that being right is not better than being whole. Peace is not found, it is built, brick by brutal brick, by hands that once knew how to fight but now choose to hold instead. There was a time when we measured strength by how long we could hold a grudge. But now, let us measure strength by how long we could hold space for someone else's truth. Because there was a me and a you before there was ever an us. And if us is broken, then peace is what lets us lay down the shards without aiming at each other's throats. Peace is the moment you return to your body and find it still standing. It is the poem that you write after the war in your chest has finally run out of ink. And let us not forget the ones who have carried peace quietly through the fire. The women whose hands mend what war has torn, who rebuild homes from memories, raise children between checkpoints, and hold their families like nations. Because peace is not easy. And so today, I speak peace into the bones of this world, into the rubble, into the rage, into the ruins. Because if war teaches us how to shatter, then peace must teach us how to stay soft, to stay human, to stay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mariam, for sharing your words, deeply powerful words that puts things in context to all of us. The heartbeat of the Paris Peace Forum has always been our projects. These are projects that are on a grassroots level, on a national level, on an international level. These are projects whose journeys we followed from 2018. We have projects that we've incubated that keep coming back. And that, to me, is the biggest testament that we're doing something right if people working on ground keep coming back and thinking that the Paris Peace Forum is providing them some value and benefit. And that comes thanks to the selection committee that selects these projects. It comes thanks to the mentors that mentor these projects. So essentially, we have 10 projects that we name every year to be part of our Scale Up project initiative. And these are projects that get tailored support over the course of the year, where we believe that the forum can help them further expand the scope and impact of their work. And this happens critically because of partners who believe in the mission of the forum, a critical partner being Sigrid Van Aken, who is the Chief Executive Director of Postcode Lottery Group. Sigrid, I'm going to give you the stage.
Thank you so much, Tricia and Miriam. Thank you for your beautiful and powerful words. So, what about the Scale Up project? So I think it's first time for a round of applause for those projects that have achieved fantastic achievements, the 10 project teams that participated in the past month in the SCUP program, as well as for the dedication of their mentors. Please join me in a round of applause. And so I think the Paris Peace Forum team has made a wonderful idea in closing these wonderful days with a celebration, because that's what's going to happen now. We're going to celebrate what's happened in the past month. So it means that these incredible project teams now also have to pass the torch to the new cohort. And before we move to that, I would like to invite on stage Meredith Preston McGee, the Secretary General of the Global Center for Pluralism, and who has been a Scale-Up mentor since 2021. So, we are very privileged because the two of us, we will be announcing the 10 projects that we will receive this year of transformational support to strengthen their growth, broaden their influence, and continue driving positive change in their fields. So here we go. There will be an introduction of representatives from each of the 10 selected projects, and they will each be pitching their project for 1 minute and 30 seconds. We will start announcing, and then please welcome them on stage before they do their pitch. So first of all, there we go. I would like to welcome on stage Raisa Sivakazongo. She's from Action pour le Développement et l'Entrepreneuriat from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and she will present the project that's named Agroforestry et Reforestation Communautaire.
Merci beaucoup pour les honneurs. Thank you very much. It is an honor, it is a privilege to be presenting this project and to be adhering to this forum. Our project is about agroforestry and reforestation on a community level east of the Democratic Republic of Congo, promoting peace and resilience of communities through restoration of ecosystems that have been disrupted and valorizing natural resources. Thanks to community and agroforestry initiative, we are creating durable, sustainable revenues in this conflict-ridden region. Activities such as plantation of new trees, fruit-bearing trees, training farmers in sustainable techniques, and adding to the natural resources. This project is all about collaboration between different stakeholders. As you may know, Congo has a rich soil, but it is destroyed by conflicts. Restoring this earth, this soil is restoring peace. It is anchored in us, in our territories, and is supported by audacious coalitions with you. So let's act together for peace. Thank you.
Un grand félicitations to our first
Congratulations.
project. I'm thrilled to welcome to the stage our second project for 2025-2026. Elaha Eli Omar leads Uplift Afghanistan, leads community and livelihood in Afghanistan, Uplift Afghanistan and CCDO, your project from the US implemented in Afghanistan.
Thank you. Thank you so much. When systems fail, people rise. In Afghanistan, where decades of war and conflict have left communities displaced and livelihoods destroyed, we help rebuild. We support livelihood and resilience projects in Afghanistan, but we don't just help them rebuild. The beneficiaries are also the decision makers. Together with our partner, CDDO, we create income and employment opportunities for local residents to build community infrastructure, a lifeline for rural life. Our work is rooted in dignity. The communities themselves, including the women, select the projects, decide who implements them, and who benefits. Because every road built reconnects home, and every act of local leadership builds trust. And that's how peace begins, from the ground up. Thank you.
Congratulations. And then we move on to the third one. So I would like to welcome on stage Svetlana Tsiyanotska. You are from Metamorphosis, the Foundation for Internet and Society from North Macedonia. And you will announce the project Disinformation Radar for the Balkans.
Such an honor to be here and to be among the selected. So we are Metamorphosis Foundation based in North Macedonia, but working across the Western Balkans. Our project is called Disinfo Radar for the Balkans, which is AI and human combined intelligence in predicting and trying to forecast disinformation campaigns that will occur in the future in the Balkans, causing ethnic tensions and polarization in the societies. With this, we rely heavily on our large network of fact-checkers across the region. So we use this database to design these predictions. We do this because this information is so deeply rooted and is the main threat to peace and democracy as we know it in today's digital era. With our work, we hope to deter the creation of disinformers into the not creating of the disinformation, and to give enough time to the democratic actors to act and to counter disinformation. Thank you.
Congratulations. And for our fourth project, Fagnaco Agroforestier et Énergie Renouvelable, led by Canopy Energies from France, implemented in Madagascar. And I'll invite Nicholas Kompalic to the stage to present the project. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. Just a few words about our project. A few words about my company, Canopy. Canopy is a French company, a société à mission, as we say. It means we are not an NGO, we are a private company, but we have other goals to be profitable. And one of these goals is really to participate to the climate transition. How do we do to participate to that? We are looking at energy and carbon footprint. So we decided to produce energy and having at the same time a negative carbon footprint. How do we do that? We have a just very innovative solution. We just plant trees. We don't cut it, and we get vegetable from that. And by this way, we capture carbon and producing energy. Where we do that in Madagascar. Why? Madagascar is suffering by large deforestation and really needs energy. We have very high target on that. We just crossed the 1 million trees planted. Our target for the 5 next years is to plant 10 million trees. It will mean a lot of energy to consume for the local population. It will mean millions of tons of CO2 capture, and it will be large benefit for the local population and for everyone. Thank you.
And then, for the next one, I would like to invite Bethany Patton from the MIT Climate Policy Center in the US to share with us the project MIT Climate Pathways. Please, welcome on stage.
Imagine it's 2035, and we're all gathered here again, reflecting on 20 years post the climate accord in Paris. And instead of saying, what didn't we do, we're reflecting on our successes, all because leaders were equipped with tools to inform them on what policies to prioritize. This is the En-ROADS Climate Policy Simulator. And today, if you were to engage leaders and ask them the question, of all of the policies that they may choose to prioritize, which ones do they think will have the most impact in time? You'll get as many answers as you have people in the room. But the problem is, as we know, resources are scarce for these kinds of problems these days. And so the urgency to get it right really matters. Over 22,000 leaders in business, government, and civil society have engaged with the En-ROADS model to learn and test their assumptions about what are the high and low leverage policies that will get us to meet our goals in time. What if every leader had these tools? Then we really could imagine a better future. You can join us, you can learn more by searching MIT Climate Pathways Project online, and we will run a workshop for you, and we're very excited to engage.
Thank you, Bethany. We're now really pleased to announce Passerelle, led by Mission AI from France, implemented in France, and to be presented by Juliette McDowell. If you can please come to the stage.
Thank you so much. I'm from Mission AI, and last year, we were approached by ESM Interpretariat. They're the largest interpreting NGO here in France. And they came with a simple question. How can we really service all of the migrants that come in. We have 200 interpreters, but that's still not enough. And there are people waiting for services at the hospital, people are waiting for services with housing and so on and so forth. So we undertook a study at first, and that study showed us that AI, when used incorrectly, really has dire consequences. And so, for example, in Germany, they used an AI company for asylum cases. There was something in Canada that happened with a misdiagnosis. And I thought, as the founder of Mission AI, we're not going to take this project. This is too important. I don't want to create any harm to anyone. But then I thought a little bit more, and I thought, people still need to go see the doctor. They still need these services, so how can we do this better? So with ISM, we developed a model whereby we can do translations, but when the conversation gets sensitive, when it's about trauma, when it's about suicide, when it's about anything that requires a human touch, the model escalates and phones the interpreter center. And so what this does is it frees up the interpreters for the really important conversations, and the things that are a little bit more generic can be handled. At the end of next year, we're hoping to reach about 200,000 migrants here in France. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations. You can go off either way. Either way.
And then for the next one, from Association of Women in Mining in Africa, for the project called Powering Change, Women and Critical Minerals, I would like to welcome on stage Zenzi Awazes from Ghana.
Good evening. I am extremely honored to be standing in front of you. I'm actually from Namibia. The association is head office in Ghana. Women make up more than half of the artisanal and small-scale mining workforce in Africa. Yet they often face barriers to finance, training, and fair market access. Historically, these women have been mining gold and gemstones, but they have now moved on to higher value minerals. Now, Powering Change, Women and Critical Minerals is an initiative that puts women at the center of Africa's mining industry discussions. Focusing on Senegal, Ghana, Zimbabwe, and Zambia, this project supports artisanal small-scale miners, especially women and youth, in critical minerals like lithium, copper, and cobalt. Our work centers on 3 principles. 1, building capacity to meet global standards. 2, promoting financial inclusion so miners can grow their businesses. And 3, opening ethical market access that ensures fair participation in the green economy. Powering Change is about turning local mining potential in lasting opportunity, creating a more inclusive, sustainable, and equitable future for Africa's mining communities. Thank you.
Wonderful. We're on to number 8. I'm thrilled to announce Raise SEA, led by AI Safety Asia, from China, implemented across Southeast Asia. And I'd like to invite to the stage Zach Motique Adesuru to present the project.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the lovely introduction, and I'm happy to be here today representing AI Safety Asia. Across Southeast Asia, over $30 billion has already been invested in AI this year. Yet, we have no early warning systems for AI societal disruptions. In the past, we've used tools that predict natural disasters, But who's warning us about automation-driven job loss, AI-fueled misinformation and disinformation, or governance paralysis? Race C, that's Southeast Asia, bridges this foresight gap. It's the first AI platform that uses AI to predict AI's own societal impact. It combines large language models and causal modeling to generate realistic disruption scenarios grounded in Asian realities. Through collaborative workshops, we co-created preparedness playbooks with governments, civil society, and academia, turning foresight into action. Our vision is to make Southeast Asia the global leader in anticipatory AI governance, proactive, not reactive. By year one, we aim to support up to 5 ASEAN countries and engage over 100 stakeholders to build resilience before the crises hit. Race C is where AI foresight meets the Asia ways, building a future we can trust. Thank you very much.
And then for number 9, I would like to introduce from Academia 2063, the project called the Africa Agricultural Watch. And I would like to introduce to you Racine Lee from Senegal.
So, good evening, everyone. Our project, the Africa Agricultural Watch, started at the onset of the COVID-19 crisis. All eyes were on the health crisis, but some countries in Africa were at the blink of a major food crisis, and we couldn't also collect the data to know what is going on. So we relied on satellite data and artificial intelligence to forecast food crop production at a pixel level. Since then, we've been able to provide those forecasts to 47 African countries at a pixel level prior to the harvesting period. So Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Finance are reaching out to ask where are we at in terms of our forecasts for budget planning, but also for food security aspects. How much to keep in the country, how much to trade. Additionally, we also publish the first ever, to the best of our knowledge, methane emissions from agriculture at a pixel level for the entire continent. And we published it in a report that we call the Annual Trend and Outlook Report from Academia 2063. Now we are building what we believe is as a transformational framework to measure adaptation from African agriculture. We'll be very happy to engage with colleagues at the SCUP program, and thank you for having us. And we believe also with this program we'll be able to make African agricultural transformation not aspirational, but to be really evidence-based and also to be bankable. Thank you.
Okay, folks, we're at project number 10. I'm thrilled to announce Zuzi AI, Inclusive and Safer Digital Spaces, led by GRIT, Gender Rights in Tech, from South Africa, implemented across Africa. And I'd like to invite Leonora Tima to the stage to present the project. And she's got a fan base.
Hi, everyone. So I'm not Leonora Tima today, but she's off on a flight quickly. But I will be representing GRIT. So I just want to start with a quote. In a world where most AI cannot understand the way survivors of gender-based violence speak, describe harm, or express pain without further re-traumatization, we in South Africa, or the Global South, decided to create one. So I am Shamron from Gender Rights in Tech, or GRIT. So basically, we decided why should South African or African spaces not be included in the AI space, specifically communities. So we co-create with survivors of gender-based violence, youth and marginalized communities across South Africa, from rural to urban to many places where AI is often very excluded from their vocabulary, their experiences, and their lived realities. And we decided to create Gender Rights in Tech, or Zuzi, AI chatbot, to understand the lived realities or context of African voices. So she, in a nutshell, she simplifies, can I put this down? She simplifies and makes sure that access to legal information, gender-based violence reporting referrals, access to mental health support, as well as access to general navigating the legal system is accessible. So we break this down into our 12 languages within South Africa, including sign language. Working on SASL text or South African text-to-language support, we make sure that no one is excluded or has barriers to navigating the justice system. And as one of our co-creators said in one of our sessions, we co-create with over 10,000 youth within South Africa who train our data set, which we feed into Zuzi. We don't rely on westernized AI, but we make sure that we are feeding South Africa or African voices back into AI. So we work with co-creators who have said to us, Zuzi speaks our everyday language and we feel heard and we never feel restricted from navigating the justice or survivor support system, which for us is a leading change. And with the Scale Up program, we're interested to see how, as we're in the scale process now, we're interested to see how people can come together, work with us, make sure that African voices are on a global stage, which next year we will bring a co-creator up here, because in reality, it is their project, not ours. And I just want to leave it on that. Thank you for Paris Peace Forum, the Scale Up Project, for investing in the Global South. Thank you.
We congratulate all 10 of the projects. Félicitations à vous tous.
Sigrid and Meredith, if I could just request all the project leaders to come on stage. Sigrid, Meredith, if we could just have you in the corner for just a little bit. We will move the table so that the project leaders can have their picture all together, and then Sigrid, Meredith, we will bring you back on stage along with a few members from the Paris Peace Forum Committee. But please, please, please clap for the incredible project leaders that we have here. I don't know if you can hear me. Voila. May I now also invite Justin Weiss, Fabienne Hara, the Director General Adjoint of the Paris Peace Forum, back on stage again, Sigrid, Meredith, to take a family photo. Fabienne, give me this. No, give me this. Wait. And also, of course, all of this happens because of this group of project leaders that you don't recognize lobby so hard, lobby so incredibly hard for these projects. Their only goal is to make sure that the projects that we have get to have the spotlight, get mentored, and they work incredibly hard day in and day out. So please do thank the team behind making this force happen. Are we good? Okay, I just want to say in conclusion, when the forum started back in 2018, it was for the centenary of Armistice, and there was a very real recognition of never again, right? And what we're seeing right now is problems we didn't ever anticipate happening, to be very concrete. What's happening in Gaza, what's happening around the world. I'm highlighting this because when the forum said never again and they made that commitment, what that has looked like is through the course of the years, the forum has worked relentlessly, very closely with the French government to make sure that the historic recognition of the state of Palestine has actually happened by lobbying countries around the world. You know, so if you're wondering, I remember back in 2018, 2017, when Justin had his brief and would walk around the UN trying to talk about the Paris Peace Forum, people said, do we need another forum? Second, they said, what is peace? Do you not just want to focus on one thing? Munich Security Conference focuses on one thing, Davos focuses on one thing. Justin said, no, we will not focus on one thing. How many of you here could have predicted all these crises that we have dealt with since 2018? None of us. And I think that's the gamble Justin took, the team took, the founders took, to say that we will keep it open-ended, we will be malleable so that we can respond to the real-world problems that we're facing today. You know, in French we say on lâche rien, and truthfully, this is the first space I have seen this work in action, not just in words, where the team has dropped nothing. And a lot of it is thanks to the generous supporters that we have who funded the program and the platform and the forum over the years. You have helped us ride these storms. You've helped us have Racine so strong that, and you've taken a gamble on us. So to the founders, to the institutional partners, to the supporters who've given us money to make all this happen. Ooh, plop, 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 plop. Don't worry, I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support. As we see, the storm is still here. We have very many more storms to ride. So please be more generous in your support towards the forum, because the forum makes a commitment to be more ambitious in their fight to make sure never again means very real transformational difference in the lives of people. So with that, can I just have the entire Paris Peace Forum team that's worked, just raise your hands, all our supporters, all our founders, everyone. Angel, if you could just get up, and we can just thank everyone for making this happen. Thank you for believing in us. Please give us more support, because you see the impact that it's having. And we shall see you back again here next year. Thank you again.